And now, Effective Communication with Phil Zeller, CEO, Dale Carnegie, Southwest Michigan.
So take a look in the mirror. What do you see? When you look in the mirror yourself, what do you see? Do you see the person who you are, the person that you want to be? Are you happy with yourself? Now, as you ask those questions and you ponder, some of you are saying, well, no, Phil, I'm not where I want to be. I'm not happy with what I see, and I want more, and I want to become more. Well, welcome to the show, Effective Communication. You're here, which tells me you're a person who wants to improve, or you wouldn't be listening to the show right now, so I appreciate you. I appreciate you because when you start to own your own success in life, you're going to go farther than the average person because you are taking steps to move yourself forward. And I'm going to share something with you that's a little counterintuitive. And it's a little counterintuitive because it's a little lesson I learned along the way in life, is that if you look in the mirror and you don't like what you see, it's going to be hard to find things that you do like to see in the world around you. So your challenge is going to be is how do I look in the mirror and feel better about the person that I'm looking at in the mirror, which is you in this case. Well, the counterintuitive part of this is this. There are a lot of people out there, and you've seen this. You've seen it all over the place. You've seen it in your family. You've seen it at work. You've seen it in the media. You've seen it on the news. You see it in the world where people are judging other people. They're judging other people. And they're judging other people for whatever reason that they justify their judgment of, but they're doing it. And the question is, what are they judging them based upon? What criteria? Was it a mutually agreed criteria they're judging them on? Did they all come together and agree on this criteria in which to be judged and then judge each other based upon that? Did they set the ground rules up front? My guess in your situation is probably not. The ground rules were not set. It's somebody judging somebody based upon the rules that they set based upon their experiences in their life. And if you really want to move forward with your life and see something better in the mirror, here's a challenge for you this year. Stop judging other people in a negative way. If you want to be happier with you, don't allow yourself to be negative towards others. Did I mention it's counterintuitive? For most people it is. And the fact of the matter is you will train yourself to better like the person you are because you're not being ugly toward other people. How cool is that? And Dale Carnegie said his first principle on how to win friends and influence people was don't criticize, condemn, or complain. He said that's the one thing, that's the clutter. That's the only principle he has that says don't. You got to get that one out of the way. And the rest are all productive, positive things you can do. But there's a reason why you have to remove the negativity first. Because it's going to mess everything up. So you got to get rid of the negativity. And so stop the judgment because nobody wants to be criticized, nobody wants to be condemned, and nobody wants to be complained about. So if you're not seeing people or talking to other people, you're condemning them. Yes, you're the one who's putting them away from you. And you can justify it any way you want. At the end of the day, it's your decision. You allowing yourself to basically hold people accountable to your set of rules, not theirs, not anything that was mutually agreed upon. You're condemning people because you're choosing not to be open-minded. You're choosing to say it's my way or the highway. You're choosing to be a person that doesn't work well with other people. You don't ever want to be classified as that person. So it begins with yourself. Stop judging other people. Because, as I said, nobody likes it. Nobody likes it when you're negative toward them. And again, you can make up any excuse you want. Well, they had to hear it. Somebody had to tell them. Really? When's the last time somebody told you that they didn't like something about you? Did you really have to hear it from them to figure it out? Or did you have an inclination that maybe you were doing something that was a little bit offensive? Let's be honest. So did they really buy that excuse that nobody was telling them so they had to know? It's kind of like the idea of constructive criticism. And I always ask, who's it constructive to? Is it constructive to you or the person who's receiving it? Do they have the experience you had? So I'm going to challenge you this year as you think about it and you want to look in that mirror and see a happier person in the mirror. Stop judging other people. Look for the best in other people. And in the world, you're going to find that because you're going to realize that every person has had different experiences than you and I. And those experiences shape who they are. And if they're doing something you disagree with or don't like, it's because they've had a different experience. It's affected their life. And have you had to take the time, have you listened to them? Because people won't accept your view unless you're willing to understand their view first. Don't ever forget that. Again, people won't accept your view if you're unwilling to understand their view. Do that, my friends, and what you'll do is you'll bring people in. You'll be happier with who you are because you're not judging people, you're seeking understanding. And you will become that person who's happy to look in the mirror, the person of reason who works well with others. Now go make it happen.